Before this episode begins, I want to thank everyone, all of you who have shared my post of the Back to School Supply Drive, the third annual that I have joined forces with as a sponsor with the two original Corona Kids sponsors. It is so amazing to see all the support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for donating. We have received so much in donations and we have been able to make so much happen. We're so excited. The Back to School Drive is scheduled for this Sunday, August 16th. There is still time for you guys to donate. So please share the post, share the information. I will continue reposting it. We had so much fun receiving the supplies that we were able to purchase thus far and just put everything together. It was so amazing. It's so impacting. Y'all, all of you who have donated, you guys are going to help us make some children so happy. This is something that will alleviate plenty of stress for a lot of families, many parents, and so we could not be any more grateful to all of you for the support. And again, there's still time to donate if you like, so please share the post, please share with your friends, tell those friends to tell their friends. We really appreciate the love and the support. I also want to give a quick reminder to any one of you who is interested in starting a podcast. I got news for you guys. As you know, I always include this in my episodes and I always share the information. In my show description, there is an affiliate code for Idea to Launch Academy. That is exactly how I am here today producing a one-woman show. Well, guess what? My coach, Carla Ramirez, has announced the intensive course is coming back. That is right. That means you get to meet with her and she takes you through every single step right there in live, in real time, and you can still launch your podcast in 30 days. So if you don't have a podcast yet and you are interested, or if you have a podcast and you're interested in revamping, go to my show description, use my affiliate code so you can join in on the academy. There is a self-paced course, but here's the gag. She's bringing back the intensive course, and that is exactly what I had. That is the experience I had, and it was amazing, and this is how I'm here today. You do not want to miss this chance. Now, again, right before we start the show, I want to share a little message that I received from one of my listeners who happens to also be a dear friend of mine. And I once actually worked with her too. This is from Alessandra. Alessandra writes to me and says, "Hey boo, I was just listening to your podcast. Congrats, by the way. That's so amazing. I love it. Such a great vibe." Alessandra, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your feedback. It's amazing to always receive reviews and just sweet messages like that. It's really, sometimes we're here, we're podcasting, we put so much work into it, and to see that, it just warms the heart. So thank you so much, Ale. And why don't we get right into the show? Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D, and as you know, here on the show, we get pretty comfortable being uncomfortable. We talk about all the rawness and all the raw mess. Joined every week with some pretty dope friends and guests, we unleash all there is to know on surviving adulthood, and we discuss different topics related to cultures, controversies, sometimes a little bit about love, sometimes even sex, and we definitely oftentimes discuss relationships and relationships. Join me. We have juicy conversations, friendly debates, and sometimes intriguing discussions. So thank you for joining us on another episode, and I hope you enjoy the show. I had to take a sip. All right. Y'all, it's Thursday. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. Y'all know, I know some of y'all probably tired. This is Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D. I know some of y'all probably fed up with those lyrics, with that tune. But if you're anything like me, you are not tired of listening to that song. I have it on repeat. And we are definitely, yes, you know it. You've already read the name on this episode. You know I was going to talk about this shit. So I have a few things to say. because I have to get it off my chest because I'm feeling some type of way. I just want to say this. I think that without insulting any of my favorite male rappers, because I do love rap music and I have some of them who are totally baes to me. I mean, they warm my heart. And I still be eyeing them. I don't care if they could be granddaddies now or if they are. I still love them. I need to get this off my chest. I just don't understand why, still in this day, why is there so much hate and scrutiny whenever a woman talks about her pussy? I just don't get it. I have to say that out there. I have to be very blunt, very direct with it. Just let's just all say it together. Ready? Let's take a moment. Pussy. Can everybody say that? Repeat after me. Pussy. See, it's real easy. Want to know why it's easy for some of us? Because, well, some of us have it. We love it. Mine has a name. Her name is Sin. And I hear plenty of men constantly say the word pussy, and it's probably because they love it too. And for those who don't, have a preference for it, I'm sure they still respect it. The power of the P is beautiful. It's amazing. There's so much to a woman embracing and loving her pussy. And I see absolutely nothing wrong with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion choosing to rap to a song, to write these lyrics together, right? Because I saw who wrote the lyrics. There are several names there, so they were definitely in the writing piece of this song. To talk about their pussies. What's the fucking problem? Okay, so let me take it back. Let's go back real quick. I just had to put it out there. I had to get comfortable with saying the word pussy because it seems that a lot of people have a problem with that. First, I want to give a shout out to Cardi and Meg on the following lyrics because they resonated with me and with Sin. And they are: he bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Shout out to those lyrics because I can promise you, I know for a fact, somewhere out there, someone did not buy a whole new phone for my WAP, but there's a whole folder of my WAP. Need a deep stroker, need a Henny drinker, need a weed smoker. Yes, ma'am. That is what some of us prefer. That is our preference. And I appreciate you making it known to some of the fellas. He got a beard while I'm trying to wet it. I've said that. But what was pretty intense for me was I kind of copied and pasted some of these verses in my search field in my iPhone and then in WhatsApp. And I realized that a lot of these verses were pretty much in my phone. There's a lot of dirty fucking talk in these verses and the lyrics itself. And at this point, it's kind of like just, okay, we can accept the fact that dirty talk exists. Shout out to Dirty Talk Podcast. We can accept the fact that dirty talk exists. We can accept the fact that some people really enjoy it. They love it. Some women, I know plenty of women, me being one of them, they need a little bit of the dirty talk to get the pussy wet, right? I mean, some of us have natural wet pussies, but it gets a little wetter when there's a little bit of dirty talk. For it to be scrutinized because it's actually in a motherfucking song, it's pretty fucking ridiculous and it's disgusting. I just don't understand what the fuck is the problem. It really pissed me off that there was just so much scrutiny towards both these women. There was a comment by a public figure along the lines of Meg and Cardi must have now grown up with God, because, oh, God forbid, a woman would ever talk about her pussy if she goes to church, right? Bullshit. Okay, bullshit. There are plenty of girls, women today that I know personally that went to church, that grew up in the church. I grew up in the church, quote unquote, and they was hoeing. They was hoeing. Going to church does not stop a woman who wants to venture out and be adventurous. And if eventually they want to talk about their wet ass pussy or rap about it, tough fucking shit. It's been so judgmental to how many times I could sit here and count multiple verses from male rappers talking about their dicks and talking all this shit about bitches and hoes and then talking about these bitches and hoes sucking their dicks. They talk about violence. They talk about gun violence. What don't they talk about? What don't they rap about? And so when a woman turns around and all she fucking says is the word pussy, it's a motherfucking problem. And What I don't understand is, how is it that we still find it disgusting? We still find it alarming. We still find it so vulgar to talk about something so natural, to talk about something, rap about it even, or be upfront as to what the fuck happens down there. Because let's just face it, some of us don't even try to get the pussy wet. It just gets wet. Like, how is it that we could sit there and find such a fucking problem in something so small? It's a song. And yes, there is levels and a lot of impact to what a song can be. If you listen to my previous episode, you would know that Big Sis Energy and I, shout out to Big Sis, discussed a lot of things about songs, cultural stigmas, that us growing up, we liked certain songs and we didn't realize the messaging behind it. So granted, there is a lot of impact that could come from songs. When it comes to this particular song, I think it's very direct and very obvious as to what's the purpose to this song. And I see nothing wrong in any of the lyrics that she has included, either one of them, Cardi or Meg, to speak about their wet ass pussy. And for anyone who has a wet ass pussy and can relate to this, or it can resonate in them, right? Any piece of the lyrics, then so fucking be it. One last shout out to one last line, two actually. I'm lying, three. Your Honor, I'm a freak bitch, handcuffs, leashes. Shout out to Meg on that one. I happen to have those things in my drawer. When I ride the dick, I'ma spell my name. Okay. I don't know if any of you guys know this. I'm sure you guys do. I'm sure you've heard about this. And some of my male listeners could probably attest to this shit. I heard once from a guy who may or may not have eaten my pussy that one of the tricks to eating pussy is with the tongue, you have to spell the alphabet. That seems to be pretty fucking normal talk for men. So I think that this is just amazing information from Meg to the female population. I see nothing wrong with what she just said. In fact, and this is me totally being fucking sarcastic, when I write the dick, I'm gonna spell my name. Y'all, she is including some educational formats here. Like, what the fuck is the problem? Okay, macaroni in a pot, that's some wet ass pussy. Shout out to that line. That is my favorite line. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I actually still have the text message that me and Sin received after I sent a very up close and personal video of my WAP. And the response was, sounds like macaroni. That clearly that's an honor. And shout out to that line, because I just thought that was fucking amazing. Shout out to all of you who know that your WAP sounds like macaroni. Now, I hit you guys with the whole little bullshit of, oh my God, we can't say pussy, but men can talk about their dicks whenever they rap, and all this fucking music about gun violence and all this bullshit. So I want to give a quick recognition to one of the things that I can totally understand of some of the backlash, if we call it, if that's how we want to reference it, to the fact that there's some violent innuendos in the song WAP. Granted, we know what Meg, shout out to Meg, beautiful Meg, Thee Stallion went through recently with the gun violence. Clearly she was shot. We know this. She spoke publicly on it. And it is terrible what happened to her. And I don't want to dive into the whole domestic violence disputes. I feel like a lot of the time the celebrities go through this. And I feel like at the end of the day, there's a lot of people going through domestic violence disputes, domestic violence trauma, relationships that they're actively in that are of domestic violence. And at the end of the day, people are going to treat those situations however they see fit at that moment and where their mental is. And so some people can be strong and they have the right support and they could get out of it, and then some people just can't and they don't know how. I say that very confidently in those statements because I have been in situations, in relationships that have been abusive in their own ways, and so don't come for me now. But with that being said, yes, there are some violent innuendos in the lyrics of WAP. So I get how some people may have felt like, damn, Meg, like you're speaking on, a song, you're rapping on a song, there is some violence innuendos, and you just got shot. I get it. I get it. But again, I go back to the whole scrutiny of some of these male rappers who speak on their life, who speak on their experience that includes violence, that includes gun violence, and they've been shot too. So, I mean, I just can't help but notice that there still seems to be a lot more scrutiny when it comes to women. When it comes to a woman having a voice, being outspoken, being blunt, being bold, being upfront, not being very transparent, whether it's about her pussy or not, there just always seems to be an issue when a woman does it. I say what I mean what I say. This is me, this is who you get. Although sometimes I have to release some of my mysteries and share them little by little, you're going to get exactly who the fuck I am. And this platform is for the purpose of raw talk. That means nothing is off limits. That means we put it all on the table, all on the mic, and we talk about it, whether people like to hear it or not. And very personally, I have to admit this, and I have to share this with you guys. I've recently noticed a few instances, not too recently, but in the last several months, I've noticed a few instances where people who have known me there for 20 plus years, right, will look at me with a side eye if a certain word or a certain phrase would fucking come out of somewhere. And if I'm speaking on something, if I'm sharing something with someone, right, if I'm speaking on, whether it's on a live, an IG live, or it's just in person, and I say, fuck this, fuck that, my pussy this, my pussy that, nah, bitch this, hold that, and suddenly you're popping out your eyes and you're giving me a side eye because you're so surprised. First of all, I'm not going to give a clear indication of who the fuck it is. I'm not. Because as you guys know in my show, I don't incriminate anyone. But I will say this, ma'am, sir, if you happen to know me for 20 plus years and you find yourself making a side eye face to me, right? Then check yourself. Because I've been the same fucking person this entire fucking time. 20 years ago, I was 14. I'm going on 15. I am going to be 35 in November. I have been fucking since I'm 13. So out of pocket shit has been coming out of my mouth since then. And it is what the fuck it is. So I just needed to put that out there. And that's just whether it's a personal experience of mine, but also for people who may be in the same situation and may be experiencing this shit. I just wanted to put it out there because no one, if you know you've been true to yourself, if you know that this is who you've been this entire time, if you know that you don't switch up for no one ever at all, and if people don't understand that about you, if people have not accepted that yet, then they can fly several kites. And anybody who knows me knows that they can fly several kites if they find a single problem as to who the fuck I am. I needed to put that out there along with the WAP, because the whole concept of this episode, if you haven't read the title yet, it is to WAP your business. Now, we're going to go right into the next topic. And we're going to discuss this relationships versus situationships bullshit. I saw this post. All right, let me be honest. Somebody shared it with me. Shout out to my boy Frank. Share with me this post. It was about a quote unquote coach. He claims he can help you quote unquote let go of the past. And he was giving his commentary on a prominent podcaster's take, really a video, as to why men are always in situationships. And here's the thing. The commentary that was given by this prominent podcaster, who I've chosen not to put the name out there because definitely still one of my faves. The indication was in this video addressing the women who don't understand why men don't want to be in a relationship and they're constantly in situationships. And so the commentary was somewhere along the lines of, well, what do you have to offer? What makes you so different from all the others that would make me want to settle down, or that would make a man want something more than pussy and chicken? At least he feels comfortable saying the word pussy. I'll give him that. And yeah, he threw in a little bit of chicken in there. Now, here's the thing. He kept asking, firing back to women. And he kept commenting on the fact that what has the woman, speaking to us women, what do we think makes us so different? What have we done? And one of the specific scrutinies, I want to call it that, is what have you brought to his life and what have you done so different that has changed his life? Now, I'm not going to go too deep into what that video said because it was at that point that I stopped listening to that video and really paying attention to what the fuck was being said. Because here's the thing. I told my boy Frank, that is his name, Frank, this is the deal. For me personally, and I want to give this commentary on this bullshit, what the woman before me was doing is none of my business. It is completely irrelevant to what I am, to who I am, and what I have to offer as a woman, as a person, as an individual, to this relationship / situationship. And if this man has not understood that it's also none of his business anymore, even though it's part of his life, and he should be working towards making it known to me what are his needs, his wants, his non-negotiables, and then I can see if we would be a good fit, then I would make clear what my needs, my wants, and my non-negotiables are to then see if we take this further. Am I correct? Why is it supposed to be, once again, let's put it all on the women. God forbid a woman dares to ask, why can't we be in a relationship, right? Why is it supposed to be my job to fix a man or to bring something to his life? Why is it supposed to be this concept that if you get in a relationship, I'm supposed to bring something to you to make your life better, to make you better? It is not my job to make your life better. If assuming we are in our mid-30s and above, if at this age you cannot figure out how to make your life better, how to make yourself better, then you, sir, haven't figured life out. You, sir, have a problem with what makes you happy, with where your life is going, your direction. You're right now misdirected. That's the situation. So if you can't figure out that I have a lot to offer to a situation or a relation, maybe it's not so much because I don't have shit to offer. Maybe it's because you haven't figured out what you can offer yourself. Maybe it's because you have a battle within yourself in figuring shit out. Now, again, I'm only basing this on what this podcaster said, as he feels he was speaking for men. So that is my rebuttal, if you want to call it that. We are grown. We are adults. And I feel that as adults who may or may not enter in a relationship, who are just even dating, we are supposed to be able to complement one another when we enter into another person's world, into another person's life as individuals who happen to be dating, who happen to be courting each other maybe, right? We're supposed to be able to do that to then see if we can build together, because then that is the phase of which it would turn into a relationship. I feel that as a woman, for one, I am responsible for certain human lives. For example, the one life that I pushed out of my pussy, I am definitely responsible for that life. I am not responsible for the life of the person that I am coming into a relationship with, of dating and courting one another. I am not responsible for that life. That person is responsible for their life, and I am responsible for my own. And when two people come together to build together, you still remain responsible for your own fucking life. You still remain responsible for your own fucking happiness. You still remain responsible to become a better person individually, because you're not supposed to lose your individuality. It is not supposed to be on the other person to add to your life and make you better. It is supposed to be on the other person that when they add to your life, it makes the both of you a stronger force. Because if the concept is to just make you better, then what the fuck happens to the person that's constantly giving? Okay. To say, what do I as a woman bring to the table? When we have situationships, A lot of the time, and especially in the age of the 30s, maybe I could say, and I could say this because of the plenty of friends in the mid 30s that I know that I happen to share conversation with. A lot of the time, we are encountering some men, and I don't want to dog them out and say that they're just dogs and they're just fucking and they're just fucking around. I don't want to do that. Let me put a little bit of respect on this. I feel like a lot of the time we're dealing with some men, and I think I've said this before on one of my episodes, who may be very well in fear of entering a relationship. And the reason why I think some men are in fear of this, the reason why I think that they struggle and are scared to commit, is because one of the requirements when you do have to think, holy fuck, I'm going to be in a relationship. Oh shit. It means you got to grow the fuck up. It means you got to definitely think like a fucking adult right now. It means you may have to make certain sacrifices. And not everybody is up for that. Not everybody's entirely committed to that. Another problem why I think some men may very well be, and again, this is not to dog them out, I just want to be fair on this. Some men may very well be dealing with the fear of commitment or the hesitation of it, or they're scared to be in a relationship, is also because the bells go off and they automatically think that means ring, wedding, and babies. And that's not necessarily the case either. As I am a single mother, for one, as adults, we have to learn how to live together. So nobody's getting married, nobody's establishing no lifetime commitment until we take certain steps before that. And even before we get to the step of living together, there has to be a whole other process before that, so that I can decide if this is really going to go in that direction. Okay? One of those pieces in that process is definitely seeing how you are with my son. I'm not saying you're going to be introduced to my son as his mama's boyfriend. No, not at all, because I still have a certain level of respect for my son. But I do need to see how that vibe is going to be before I can absolutely make the next decision if, in fact, you are worthy of coming into this house and being part of this family. Because yes, I may like you. Yes, I may enjoy time with you. Yes, I may be enjoying our time together, our dates, our sex, our whatever. But nothing goes beyond that if I don't have the conversation of what's next. And part of that piece, that step to the next level has to be me seeing how you are with my kid. I just need to see mutual respect. I need to see some form of a friendship. And then I will know if it's even worthy of going forward. Because everything else, I know what I have to offer. I know what I could bring to the table. But none of that requires me to have to invest into making a better you. Because maybe my version of what a better you is not what your version of what a better you is. So why the fuck am I going to put that responsibility on myself? I wanted to address that because I felt that when it came to WAP Your Business and this little fucking video going around on social media, I might post it. I feel is another level of minding our fucking business of what once was with a previous woman in a previous relationship compared to me. Because at the end of the day, as a grown-ass woman, I'm not here to compare myself to no one. I am me. This is what you're going to get. You're always going to get up front and center who I am. And most of the time, that's exactly what you're going to get from any woman. So it's not a woman's responsibility to have to put all that work in and making you a better person, because she's already doing that for herself. It's called growing up. It's called cut the shit out. Cut the excuses. Cut the cop-outs with the situationships bullshit. It's either you want a relationship or you don't. And if you're going to speak on that, then do us all a favor, all of society, and be very upfront and direct and honest. That goes a long way. Now, I wanted to add another piece to this conversation before ending the show. In the essence of what a woman has to offer, and in the essence of relationships versus situationships, and of course, the amazing lyrics of WAP. There is one verse in that song that the very talented and beautiful Cardi B sang. Well, she rapped and she said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. And I wanted to wait to the end to speak on this verse because I definitely felt some type of way about some of the commentary surrounding that particular comment. And it has a lot to do with the fact that when we think about relationships, situationships, and on this show, relationships, the bottom line is this. She's just making a notation in that song that she don't cook or clean, and he still proposed to her, and she still became his wife. However, nowhere in that song did she say that it kept him faithful. In fact, if we all remember, it was very public, the scandal of him cheating, him being her husband, Offset, the rapper. Now, on the reversal, does that mean that women are supposed to always be in this little frame, right, of having to cook and clean in order to become a wife, because that is what makes you wife material? And in my very humble opinion, my answer is no. I don't think that's what needs to happen for you to become a wife or to be wife material. Because here's the gag, guys, the gulp. I am totally quoting the words that Cardi used in that fucking song. Here's the choking statement. Whether you cook, whether you clean, if you iron, if you do laundry, if you, on a weekly basis, vacuum the rug, if you do everything that fits in this frame of what wifey material is, of what a wife is, as we can see from Cardi, as we can see from other goddess, beautiful industry women, whether it is actors, whether it's musicians, whether it's singers, dancers, what have you. We've seen many of them still get cheated on. So no, cooking and cleaning doesn't guarantee you the ring. Cardi can attest to her not cooking and cleaning. She still had a way to get the ring. And according to her, she embraces her WAP and gives it a little bit of recognition to getting her ring. And that's fine. Let's let her ride. Let's let her rock with that shit. What I am saying, though, is even if you did know how to do that, and kudos to you that you do know how to do that and you know how to make all the fucking meals in the world that your husband loves, right? That your boyfriend loves, that your fiance loves. Let's say that is your case and you know how to do that. It don't matter if you've been married 6 months, 6 years, 16, 26, 36, 46. The bottom fucking line is the person who wants to cheat, who smells new WAP or new bad. Shout out to Safari for his refix. I don't know if you heard it, but I did. Big ass dick. Yeah. Whoever wants to smell a new WAP and a new bad and they want to cheat, they're gonna fucking cheat regardless. I say that to say nothing is a guarantee. Nothing is set on stone. Yes, there are choices we have. There are choices we have of whether we want to just have a domestic partnership, or we want to get married, or we want to have a wedding, or we don't, or we go to City Hall, or we just want to live together for the rest of our lives. Who the fuck knows? There's so many choices to what a relationship can be, and only the 2 adult people in it, or 3 sometimes, can make that their decision, their choices, and build it in their own way of what makes them happy and what makes it make sense for them. But nothing is a guarantee. It takes a lot of work. So if you are a man or a woman who's afraid of committing and actually turning a situationship into a relationship because you are afraid of growing up, because you are afraid of commitment, you could wait until you are 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, because you think that age is so impacting, right? Because you think that at that time you will be ready. Guess the fuck what? Maybe you are ready, but that doesn't mean the other person was, and they may fuck up. Yeah, newsflash, they may fucking fuck up. There's always a window of an opportunity for people to fuck up in life. All it takes is one moment of distraction. All it takes is one moment of carelessness. All it takes is one moment of a oops, fuck, I fucked up. That's all it fucking takes. That's where I am bringing it all together. That there is nothing set in stone of how things are done, that it will guarantee it will last forever. On a very personal note, without giving out names, but I happen to know personally couples of 30, 40 plus years that they've either stayed together or broken up. And the ones that have stayed together have attested to the fact that they've survived infidelities. And those women did cook, did clean, raise the kids day in and day out. And the ones that got a divorce, that separated, that broke up because there was infidelities. They did cook, they did clean, they did raise the kids, they did everything that they had to do. So there is absolutely no guarantee in all of it. Everybody is their own individual, and the same way they should make themselves better and their life better, and that should be their own responsibility, is the same way they could fuck up their entire fucking life, including their relationship / marriage / domestic partnership. So with that being said, I encourage all of y'all to just WAP your business. Let everybody live. Stop having so many fears of commitment or listening to the song WAP and the word pussy. There are bigger issues in this world than for us to sit here and constantly scrutinize women. And I am a very outspoken and vibrant Latina. If you didn't hear my trailer, I had to come and speak on this bullshit. I had to come and lay it out on the mic and on the table, because it was just pissing me the fuck off. Y'all, I don't sit here and just constantly criticize rappers and all the bullshit that they fucking talk about, which I happen to like. A lot of those fucking songs I fucking like. I be rapping to them on the fucking train. People look at me like I'm fucking crazy. You know, like, a lot of women don't fucking do that shit. So just fucking let these female rappers do what they gotta do. They have success. They are successful. They're beautiful. They're talented. They are fucking fine. They're sexy as fuck. Leave them the fuck alone. And on that note, thank you so much for tuning in to another week and another episode. Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. I am your lovely host, Miss D, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And when you leave the review, tell your friends, and then tell your friends to tell their friends. Nothing makes me happier than to read the reviews that you guys are leaving and the feedback I am receiving from my listeners. So please feel free to contact me on my social media pages and the show's email. All my information is in the show description. Nothing would make me happier than to hear from you guys and to know what it is that you would love from my platform to cover on some raw talk. So let's talk about it. Talk to you next week. Bye.